idea if you can hear me. If you can tell from my hair, it is really windy out here, and I'm as close as I can be to the camera. And you know, people probably wonder why I don't just get a microphone to use for my camera. And the reason is that I actually want you to be able to hear all the sounds of nature as well, right? Like the waves, the wind, the birds, all those fun things too. And if I do the microphone, you won't be able to hear those things. So I have to just kind of make do and get as close as I can to this camera. There's probably better ways, but I don't know. So, hey, Roz, if you're on here, can you hear me? You're my sound check so that I can see whether I can actually do this. But I'm going to turn it around so you can see the sunrise. But let me know if you can hear me. So, the sun is already coming up. It's supposed to be sunrises at 6:41, which is about now. But I saw the glow in the sky actually a little before that, and it was really getting bright just below the horizon. So I went ahead and turned it on. One of the things you'll notice too is that the sunrise this time of the year is way over to the right, and in the summertime it's going to be like way over, kind of more in the center, right across from us on the river. And there's a weather system that has brought in waves and wind and about a 20-degree drop in temperature overnight. So it feels quite brisk out here this morning. Hopefully you can hear me. I don't know if you can or not, but I'm going to go ahead and continue as if you can. So I wanted to tell you a story about when I was about 10 years old, 9 or 10 years old, and I was in 4-H. The 4-H is a youth group that you do all kinds of different things with it, but one of the things is something called public speaking. And you have to prepare a speech. It's about 4 or 5 minutes long, and stand up in front of a group of people and give your speech. And it's terrifying, absolutely terrifying. And I, like any 9 or 10-year-old, was terrified. And I was trying to figure out how to get around this. And what I did, and it worked really well, surprisingly, is that there was another person named Bonnie. Now, Bonnie was probably about 4 years older than me, I'm guessing, which, when you're 9 or 10 years old, is forever. You know, that's basically practically an adult and to a 9 or 10-year-old. And Bonnie was great at public speaking. She stood up there with all kinds of confidence and spoke clearly. People listened to her and clapped at the end and thought she was great. And I thought she was great. So when I stood up to give my speech, I told myself that I was Bonnie. And that I was a confident person like her. And I could do this because I was Bonnie. And my speech went pretty well. Because I was Bonnie in my head. Or pretending to be her anyways. And it brings to mind that fake it till you make it mantra is that sometimes we want to be somebody that is not easy for us to be. Maybe we're facing a situation where we need to be brave. And we don't feel very brave. And so we sometimes just need to fake it and act brave. And do the actions of a brave person. And then eventually you might actually become brave. There's a lot of different things that we want to be in life. A different type of personality, a different type of situation. Bravery is probably the biggest one. You know, being able to do something that you don't really have the actions to do. Or, you know, the convictions or the experience to be. But it's usually not quite as bad as we think it's going to be. Happiness is another one. Happiness is really hard for a lot of people to, well, probably all of us, to find sometimes. And so some of the best things to do is actually maybe take the actions of a happy person. You know, go for a walk. Smile at somebody. Shake somebody's hand. Be nice to somebody else. And see if that happiness doesn't come back and return it to you. So that's my little chat for this morning, is that if you're not feeling something, not feeling like you can do something, just fake it so you can make it. So hopefully you could hear me this morning. I know that the wind definitely does not help, and if you were in the beginning, I did say that, you know, I could use a microphone, but I choose not to because I really want you to be able to hear the wind and the waves and the birds and And if I used a little microphone, it would kind of filter out some of that. It's raw, it's real, it's what it is. Alright, everybody. Make it a great week. See what you can do with it. And if you're not feeling brave, fake it till you make it.